Hello, my beautiful, beautiful narc-free family. Thank you for joining me here today. My name is Cree. For those of you who are new to my channel, for everyone else who has already been here and knows what this is about to be about, thank y'all for hanging in there with me. I know I have been MIA for a minute. I had to handle somebody and I need all my energy to do that. Now I can come back, okay? So this video is going to be about the money. All right, if you found yourself in a relationship with a narcissist, and some of y'all are not going to know that you're with the narcissist until we get here with the money. Okay, you may have realized that maybe they were cheating, or they were playing these little mind games and things, and you may have put some stuff together, but where they're going to show their whole behind is right here with the money. Okay, because since narcissists have black and white thinking, when you're with them before they've discarded you or you have had to leave because of their behavior, then they're trying to deceive you all the time. Okay, but when you guys are no longer together now, because of the black and white thinking, before you were all good because you were validating their false self, you were making them feel good, you were supplying them however they needed for you to supply them. Now we're over here where they have a new supply, they don't need you anymore, and in their mind it doesn't matter what you all have built together. Some of y'all have just been in long-term relationships with them, some of y'all have been married to them. Either way, you were building with them. Some of y'all had businesses with them. You were the person who did all the research, who designed all the things for them to make sure their website is on and popping, all these kinds of things. So you put in countless hours. You may have been the one who kept the children so that they could do all of this. So you put your life on hold, your career on hold, all of the things you wanted to do so they could chase after their dreams. But in the end, they're going to say, and we'll say it out loud to the courts, that you don't deserve anything but what you brought into the marriage or into the relationship. And they're so delusional that they're not realizing that they're the ones that didn't bring anything. They're the ones that didn't have anything when they got in a relationship with you. You might have, in my case, I had a paid for home. I had paid cash for it. I had a college degree. My card was paid for. I had good credit. He was total opposite. Okay? And I mean everything was the opposite. I had a bed. And when I say everything was the opposite, I mean everything was the opposite. But they're not going to see that you brought anything in, because see, now with their magical thinking, you know, they're going to leave out of the marriage with the bed, because in their mind, everything with their entitled self belongs to them. You're nothing. You really, what you were was their stepping stone up to get them a new supply who they thought they could get more from. If their goal was to come at you from a financial standpoint and to use you so that they could level up, some of y'all are so good at so talented and have so many gifts. And if you're good at, just say for instance, you're good at sales, all right? You're just naturally good at it. You may make them a lot of money, or you have a lot of favor, or you have a lot of wisdom. So they come to you for everything and say, this happened or that happened. What should I do here? What should I do there? And you're actually guiding them through and helping them. But in the end, I promise you, they will see none of that. Okay? They're only going to see that y'all are no longer together. They're entitled to everything. And you, and I say this again because I don't want some of y'all to pass out in court when you hear somebody say that, you know, you should only get what you brought into the marriage, and you're thinking to yourself, what? Dude, you the one came with nothing. A woman, you the one came with nothing. I'm the one that was the package. You came with nothing. But this is how they think, and I just want to prepare y'all so that you don't react. Because even for someone to say that, you know they have to be mentally thrown off, okay? And what happens is the court knows that if you've been with someone for years and years and years and you've been building together, the court knows that it's not, they weren't doing this by themselves, okay? So I just want to give y'all that, and now I'm going to go over some things that where you can find the money or be have an idea of where things are going or be on the lookout for some things. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to try to help y'all find some of this money that you're trying to figure out where it's going, because deceptive people will do things like this. All right, so the first thing you need to be thinking about is grocery store. I know y'all are not thinking about this, but when people want to, get money and hide it where you can't see that they're getting it, we go to the grocery store once a week, okay? And if you get cash back every time you go to the grocery store, the only way that you can usually tell is by having the receipt in front of you. So without the receipt, you cannot tell that this person is getting an additional $50 or $100 a week, okay, from the grocery store. The other place is gift cards. If they're purchasing gift cards that they're using, like a Visa gift card, and they're putting money on it, you can't tell that by what's coming out of the bank account. So just say, for instance, y'all have a joint account. If you're married, most people have a joint account, and you have a budget for groceries, and you're not paying that much attention, and someone is taking out cash, but they're not telling you. There's nothing wrong with you guys have an agreement that, when I was married, the agreement was he got a certain amount of cash every week that was automatically, I paid the bills, but that money automatically went into his account, no questions asked. It was like an allowance to keep the account from being overdrawn or something, because he would spend money that I wouldn't know about. Okay, so that's orderly. You've had a discussion about this. But when someone is taking money and just siphon it little by little, and think about this, if you do $100 a week, I don't know what your grocery budget is, but let's just say you're going to Aldi, okay? Groceries at Aldi don't cost that much. So say your grocery budget per week is $200, depending on the size of your family, and you're getting $100 cash back every time you go. You can bring home a lot of groceries from Aldi for $100, okay? So then that's $400 a month that's just disappearing somewhere, okay? All right, Aldi doesn't have gift cards, not as of yet, but when they do, okay? Now, so that's you can see where this can be adding up, okay? All right. Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. Those of you who are feeling anxious, overwhelmed, you're feeling depressed, and if you've been with a narcissist, you found yourself on my channel, you are most likely feeling all of those things. BetterHelp is a good place to go for privacy, for convenience. When I was going through the divorce with the narcissist, I used an online therapist myself. When you have small children and you can't always get out, your children are sick, or your babysitter canceled on you, or the narcissist is playing games with you, and you can't get out to get the therapy you need, you can get this right from your home, from your laptop, or from your phone. So it's very convenient. Or those of you who are traveling and you're not always able to get into the office, this is a very convenient way for you to get the help that you need. And this is BetterHelp, HELP, BetterHelp.com. It only takes about 15 minutes to answer the questions, to get signed up with the therapist that is right for you. BetterHelp will reach out to you within 48 hours with some people that will work for you. And again, if you use the coupon code down below this video in the description box and in the comments section, you can get 10% off your first month with BetterHelp. Car payments or other types of bills where they're overpaying it because they're planning on something. So they start, doubling up the car payments. And, maybe they're pulling this from the savings and doubling it up because they're planning to leave you, or they're planning to do something, and they know this is the car that they're going to take. So they're, skimming off of paying where you wouldn't be paying any attention. But a lot of this stuff, when you're going through a divorce, if you're doing the right things and you're not malicious with people, you would be surprised that the people at the bank would be like, let me explain something to you on your account. Stuff you're not even asking for. I'm telling y'all, if you do the right things, doors will open for you that nobody can close, and you will find out things in ways you weren't even looking for it. You're just finding out things, okay? Safe deposit box. Okay, that's where that cash is going. It's going into a safe deposit box that can either just be communicated with the ex, the person you're with now, or the person that you're not gonna be with, okay? Where they're taking that money and putting it away, and all that bank is doing is using email, no mail, email or their phone, so you never know about this safe deposit box. Thereby you can never prove how much money is in it, okay? Now, if they have a business, all right, oh Lord, some of this stuff I don't even want to tell y'all. There is one thing that I'm not even going to mention because there are narcissists on my channel. They call me sometimes for coaching. They say the oddest things, and they don't know how I know. And when I don't cater to their false self, then they go away, because initially I don't know. I can't just go around and if somebody does something, throw it off, and then you start calling them a narcissist. It doesn't work like that. But when you have sessions and you see that everything they're talking about is a way to get over on somebody, I can't even call them a narcissist then. Maybe this is how they grew up. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, people call me to ask me how to get out of paying child support, or they're trying to run game on their ex. So a couple of these things that I'm saying to y'all are things that people have actually called me and talked to me about. So business and taxes, all right? So what you can do in this area is prepay things. If your taxes, say that business made $100,000 that year, this is just the example, and you've got to pay, in taxes, let's just say $20,000, okay, just for the sake of being able to add things up quickly. Say you've got to pay $20,000 in taxes that year, and you've got money over in savings and everything, and then this ex decides what they'll do is they will take and pay $100,000 for taxes and tell you that, well, I prepaid the taxes. Yeah, well, I'm sorry, they're not going to tell you they prepaid it, but they're telling you they paid taxes, all right? Well, they did pay the taxes, but what they did was they prepaid the taxes. They did not, the tax bill wasn't $100,000. They paid $100,000. So at a later date, when they file taxes or when the IRS picks up on this, guess what? They're going to get a refunded amount back in the future. So meanwhile, this money is hidden, okay? All right. The other thing is, in a business, it's the same way. You know how you have expenses? Maybe you have, different companies you use for different things, different vendors, okay? And then you prepay all of these people extra money. So if you've got 5 companies that you deal with, and you're prepaying all of them an additional $100 a month, so that's an additional $500 a month, and you've been doing that for 12 months, you can see how this can add up. And at some point in time, they're going to review their records, and they're going to be like, hey, you made an overpayment. Or the person is going to reach out to them and say, hey, you know what? I've been overpaying you, send me my money back. All right, this is a way for people to hide money, right, kind of in plain sight, because if you're not paying attention, you're missing these things and you just think they're just paying the bills for the business. Okay, now, so they make it look, in this way, they make it look like the business is doing bad, okay? When in actuality, on paper, it looks like it's doing bad, but in actuality, it's because they're prepaying things to keep the divorce or the separation to a point where they still feel like they have control of everything and they're not going to be fair. But I'm going to tell you a little true story at the end, and then you're going to understand why everything comes full circle. So no worries, y'all, don't worry. Even if they get over on you, don't worry about it. You will get it back at a later date, okay? Because this has something to do with seed time and harvest, karma. When you do things like that, it comes back. It might not be the next day, but it comes back. You will get back what's coming to you. I'll explain later, okay? Family and friends. So if they're giving money to family and friends to put in an account for them, okay, then there it is. It's gone. And they're like, oh, this money is just gone. When they know full well where the money is. They put it in safekeeping. Okay. 401k loans. All right. So, in my case, well, let me tell y'all that at the end. Yeah, let me make a note and tell y'all that at the end. Okay, so let's talk about, well, I'll just put it down here. 401k, putting extra in it. I've actually had someone say to me what they did was they were having a bunch of money go into their 401k. So when they got married, their spouse thought that they didn't have anything because they never ever mentioned this account. Okay, so this money's coming automatically out of their check, and they probably bumped it up some when they got married, but they never ever mentioned this account. So they went through years of marriage, then they got divorced, and this person never knew that this account existed. So the money was coming out straight off the top, out of their check, going into an account, making it look as though they made less money, much less money. Okay, and so the spouse is all worried that they don't have enough, and this is causing problems in their marriage. And all the while, they know what they're doing, and they never mention it. So there was no division in it because it never got mentioned. Okay, now, for those of you who have, this is going to be a little out of order. It's not where I want it to be, but it's okay. 401k loans. Okay, some of y'all that are going to be going through a divorce, the narcissist is going to try to go ahead and take loans out of the 401k. All right, it's highly possible. And in my case, what he had done was, but he forgot I paid the bills. So I since I paid all the bills, I had the ADP password and everything, so I could see that there were loans coming out. I couldn't see what the amount of the loans were, but I could see that there was this weekly payback, okay, coming out, and I could see when it started. So this is what it looks like. Say there's a 401k plan, and in the state you live in, everything's supposed to be divided 50-50. Okay, so in my case, this is what happened. When the documents were supposed to be turned in, all the financial documents in Discovery, what this individual had done is screenshotted the page of what was in the account, and then blew up the section with just the balance. So this is not a true reflection of the account, because had he turned in the real document, it would have shown these loans that he started taking out after the separation. But I had already seen them in ADP. Okay, I just didn't know how much they were for, but I knew that there were 2 of them. So, and I knew what the balance was. The reason why the balance was so high in the account is because of advice that I had given. So this account got, it had a sizable amount for the amount of time that the account had been open. Okay, so he'd blown that up, screenshotted that, so it had the name of the company, it had the balance that was in there at that time. All right, but I had already screenshotted the ADP where here are these 2 additional loans now. And he printed out the booklet, like a 28 or 30 page booklet of how the 401k worked. So if you're, whatever company you're with, the booklet that tells you everything, all the questions you need to know. So this is what he turned in. For those of you who are going to be representing yourself in court, all right, because a narcissist is going to be doing a lot of stuff to try to make your bill really high. And some of y'all, I have had clients who have said, hey, I can't afford to do this anymore with this court thing, and they had to go out on their own and represent themselves. You guys will need to file something called a motion to compel. And what that does is, you put exactly on there what you're looking for. I need statements from this year, this month, this year, this date, on to this month, this year, this date, from this account, this account, this account, this account. Whatever it is that you're looking for, that you're trying to get the answer to, you need a motion to compel. All right, and that forces them to turn in the real documents. Okay, so that when you get to the end of the divorce, everything is split equally, not after they've raped the account and then you're getting half of the leftovers. Okay, so I want to put that out there for y'all. Let's see. They can be hiding money and purchasing things that you don't know the value of. Coins, okay? Cars. A lot of y'all ladies don't know how much these cars are. Look them up online. You know, you might think this is a $30,000 or $40,000 car, and it's a $150,000 car. All right? You guys need to know what that Bentley GT Continental costs. Okay. You need to know what stuff costs, and if you don't know, it's a quick Google search. Okay, so there's coins, jewelry, cars, things like that, that if you don't know the value of it, they went and purchased some and you think it's some regular random something, and all they're going to do is go now sell this item, or the item, a coin or something, is going to be worth more later, and they've just taken money and purchased these things, and you're not even asking for anything because you don't even know the value of these things. Okay, so that's another way to hide money. Now, stopping the sale of the home. Okay, so some of them they may not want to sell the home. They don't want to buy you out of the equity that's in the home, and they also don't want to sell the home, and they're gonna find little ways. In my case, what he did was he stopped paying on the house, thinking that, you know, it may, I guess, foreclose, and then he would get the money. Then he tried to do some little thing where he tried to refinance the home, and the people started calling me, and we were in the middle of the divorce. So I think what he was trying to do, he finally realized that my name is on the deed, and you ain't doing nothing with that house without me knowing about it. I'm not answering no calls. I am shutting everything down. I don't care who calls. Okay, it's I had an attorney, and what'll happen in these kind of cases is the judge put an attorney on the case that is someone who deals with real estate. So she's a real estate attorney, and she's a divorce attorney. Okay, Or she's an agent, a real estate agent, but I think she was some type of attorney. So she does both things. They know how to stop the foreclosure on the house. And what they also have the power to do is, if the ex tries to make it so that, if they're not planning to buy you out, they try to make it so the house doesn't sell by, leaving it a mess and stuff like that. They also have the power to force them out of the house. Okay. All right. And let me go back to the 401k. There was something that I wanted to say about that. The judge can order an emergency order to have them take out the same amount of money they took out for you. I'm sorry, they took out for themselves and squandered, to give to you. Okay, so that at the end, when they divide what is left, everything is right. It's not disproportioned. Okay, so I wanted to put that out there. I had too much coffee, y'all, so I'm all over the place. I'm so sorry. Let's see. Child support. Obviously, they will play games with child support if they can. That's something that I'm not going to talk about here, because like I said, I have narcissists who are on my channel who run games. Now let me tell you what you need. You're going to need a forensic accountant or a forensic financial specialist, someone who knows how to find the money. If you're talking about a lot of money, all right, if you're talking about large amounts of money. Now, what I would like to say and encourage y'all is, because I like to give y'all some amount of hope. Now, they will run game with the child support. It doesn't mean that it will work. In my case, what has happened is, I guess they miscalculated the child support in the beginning, and I wasn't even going to go back to get any adjustment in the child support, because I just want to show y'all how everything comes around full circle. All right, I wasn't even going to go back and do anything about modifying the child support, because I thought, well, maybe if I don't, if I just don't do anything, maybe at some point he will leave me alone. But this has been going on for years. Okay, so he finally did the ultimate bad thing that you should never do and involve your kids in. Some of y'all are gonna know what I'm talking about. I'll make some videos on that, but not today. And at that point I said, okay, well, he's not going to leave me alone, so I'm going to go ahead and fill out for this modification. Now, you can do that here in my state every 3 years. So this has been 4 years and of not leaving me alone. This has been going on for years and years. So what I did is I went in for the modification of child support. Now, where he works is public knowledge of what the person makes. I know his tenure there, and I know how to find it. Okay, but I don't know how to calculate for child support. So when we had this meeting, because I want to give y'all some hope, I had no idea, none, what the increased amount would be. Well, as it turns out, it is double what he had been giving me. And for those of you who have a narcissist who is after you, this is going to be detrimental to his lifestyle, okay? Which is going to mean that he is going to have less resources to keep hunting me down, okay? So some of y'all are put in a situation. This is not even something I wanted to do. I was going to leave everything alone. Just leave me alone, and I'm going to leave you alone. And like I said, I waited an extra year, because I could have done this a year ago. So what I want y'all to understand is that just because they thought they got away with something, because there were several things where I got less money, and I want y'all to watch out for these pitfalls. When they divided the house money, they divided it in half off of the sale price of the house. But they did not take into account that year that he didn't pay for it, that he was in the arrears. They took the arrears out of both of ours. So, which basically means that I got 6 months where I basically paid for him to stay there. So I got 6 months of less money. But now let's bring it to today. When you double someone's child support, it's coming back. Okay. All right. So I want y'all just to hang on, all right, and see what the end is going to be. Okay. Don't just throw in the towel and give up, but also don't give them too much of your energy. Where you win at when you're battling with one of these individuals is when you pull your energy all the way back. Shut everything down. Shut your Facebook down. Take that, you can't just shut Instagram down without losing everything, but take it off your phone. Take the little IG thing off your phone. Get quiet, get still, get your glow up, start on a business, start drinking water, start going running, start loving on yourself more. And if you want them to expose themselves, that's how you get them to expose themselves. And that is how you keep your sanity, and everything ends up working for you. It is pulling back everything. Pull back everything, okay? Pull your energy all the way back, all right? And that is how you are not putting any focus on them. You're not putting any focus on what they're doing. Yes, produce documents and receipts if you're going to court. Yes, but that's it. Don't keep giving them too much of your energy, all right? Don't. They will act a fool when you pull your energy back from them. When they know energetically you ain't thinking about them, you're going on about your business, you don't care nothing about it. Okay, so a few $1,000s here, I missed a few $1,000s there. My son was like, Mama, if it's not more than this certain amount right here, don't even worry about taking them back to court. Don't even worry about it. You got that? And I was like, okay. And he was telling me the right thing. You pick a number, and if things are out of order, you can go back and forth to court with them. But for what? You could have made that money. If there's a gap of, I don't know how much money you're working with, but decide a number. If there is a gap and it's significant, but it ain't gonna break you, use your energy to make that money back up by starting a business or creating something, writing a book, doing something where you got that money back. And you'll get it back later, just like with the child support thing. Now he's having to pay more in child support so I can invest more for my children's future. Thank y'all for joining me here. I wish y'all well. Anyone who's needing coaching, look for my information down below. Anyone who wants to donate to the channel, you can do so down below. If you have liked this video and you have found it informative, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you think I can benefit you. Bye bye, my beautiful, beautiful narc free family. See you next time. Mwah.